Well, good morning, folks. Welcome to the QT Bible Study with Steve Leavitt. I am Steve Leavitt. Barbecue for breakfast, that's great. I am actually at the OST, what's called the OST in Bandera, Texas. Over to see my mama this morning. And so they're going to be up here in just a little bit. We're doing breakfast first at the restaurant called the OST, short for Old Spanish Trail. Old Spanish Trail. I apologize for the background noise. It's the best we can do. Are you guys going to be able to hear okay? Can y'all hear me okay? I know it's going to be loud. And just had a table of guys sit down over here. I love the environment, though, and the environment is all the locals come in and have coffee and breakfast every morning and sit around and talk. But as long as you guys can hear me, then we should be all right. It's going to be short and sweet this morning. We're in Luke chapter 8. Luke chapter 8, verse 26 is where we're going to start. So wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Grab your coffee. Get your pen, get your highlighter, and we'll get going. I did have eggs and sausage and hash browns and gravy already this morning. Sarah says the background noise is not as loud on Facebook. So TikTok, maybe I'll get you a little bit closer. Instagram, see if I can diminish some of the background noise. All right. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter can hear me just fine. Looks like TikTok isn't too bad. We're just going to get up close and personal. Help that little bit of the volume if that's all right. All right, here we go. Luke chapter 8. Luke chapter 8, verse 26. Y'all ready? We can just sit and listen to the background noise too. Liz is going to jump over to Facebook. It must be loud. Hi, Mims. I made it to Bandera. All right. Liz must have jumped over so much better on Facebook. I know it's probably going to be difficult on Instagram, but we're going to do the best we can. All right. So remember yesterday the story. And the story was, right, that they're in a boat and there's a storm and Jesus taught them a lesson in the midst of the storm. He walked them through this stormy event, like you may have storms in your life. Well, it says that they had gotten in the boat to cross over the lake, right? So that now they've gotten over to the other side of the lake, and that's where we pick up after the storm, after the lesson that had been learned. Now they're on the other side of the lake. So here we pick up right there. And they sailed to the country of Gergesenes, which is opposite of Galilee. And I'm not sure about this. Somebody can help me out here. Geographically, if you're looking at your map, if you go across from Galilee, this is now exiting Israel. And I don't think there were Jews over there. Now, there were 2.5 tribes that went trans Jordan. They stayed on the other side of the Jordan. I think this was, somebody help me out. I think this is a non-Jewish community, and we're going to see that in that they were herding pigs, which would probably not have been a Jewish thing to do. So I think these weren't Jews that he's going to interact with on the other side, but maybe they were. If somebody knows, let me know that. It would seem to me that they weren't Jewish on the other side over here. So he goes across Galilee, the Sea of Galilee, And he had come out on the was met by a certain man from the city who was possessed with demons, plural. Jesus and his disciples get on a boat, and he's met by a man who's possessed by demons, and who had not put on any clothes for a long time. So a naked dude with demons. I don't think I want to interact with a naked dude full of demons, right? He was not lying in a house, but in the tombs. He was not living in the house, but in the tombs. And seeing Jesus, he cried out and fell before him. And he said in a loud voice, "What do I have to do with you, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, do not torment me." This was the demons speaking, not the man. This was the demons speaking. And the demons said to Jesus, "What do I have to do with you, Jesus, Son of the Most High God?" Jesus didn't announce himself. Jesus didn't tell him who he was. These guys had not, quote, heard about Jesus. That in the world of angels and demons and God and Satan, the angels, the demons knew who this was. This was the Son of the Most High God. They didn't question who Jesus was. The religious people are the ones who questioned who Jesus was, but the demons did not. What do we have to do with you? What do we have to do with you? And then the demons said this interesting note at the end of verse 28. "I beg you, do not torment me." I beg you, do not torment me. Very interesting that they're begging Jesus. "Hey, Dad, good morning. I'm over at the OST in Bandera seeing Mom this morning. I beg you, do not torment me." So that says so much. One, that they're begging Jesus. So that tells me who's in charge. Who's in charge? Jesus is in charge. Jesus is in control. Jesus is the one. The demons do not have power. We know another scripture where it says, "He that is in us is greater than he that is in the world." Jesus is in us. Satan is in the world. He that is in us is greater than he that is in the world. Yeah, it says, Ruiz says that even the demons believe in God and they shudder. So we see that they're begging Jesus not to torment them. They are submissive to Jesus. They submit to his godship. They submit to the next time you think you're getting beat down and tore up and everything, just remember that even the demons submit to God. Right? And know who Jesus is. All right. Verse 20. Commanding the unclean, for he had been commanding the unclean spirit to come out of this man, for it had seized him many times, and he was bound with chains and shackles and kept under guard, and yet he would burst into fetters and be driven by demons into the desert. And Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" He wasn't asking the man what the man's name was. He's asking the demons. He's asking the demons, "What is your name?" And he said, "Legion," for many demons had entered him. Legion. A Roman legion was 3,000 to 6,000. 3,000 to 6,000 people. And that's the answer. Legion. 3,000 to 6,000 demons. Guys, I'm sorry about the quality. It is what it is. We just we gotta live with it. Sorry. And they were and they were entreating him not to command them to depart into the abyss. I don't know what this means exactly. I've heard a lot of people give a lot of different opinions, but I don't know what this means exactly. Apparently, Jesus had the ability to cast them out into the abyss. I don't know if that's hell. I don't know. They didn't want to go there. Wherever this place was, the abyss, they didn't want to go there. It was bad. Here's my assumption that the abyss was a separation from God, a separation from. I don't. It was torment. It was torture. They didn't want to go there. Now there was a herd of many swine feeding there on the mountains. Verse 32, on the mountain. And the demons entreated him to permit them to enter into the swine, and he gave them permission. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why Jesus didn't cast them into the abyss. I don't know why he cast them into swine. I'm sure there's some representation. The swine were considered a filthy animal, a dirty animal, and it was fitting for them to be cast into a dirty animal. I don't know, but he gave them permission. I don't know what all's. Again, I've heard a lot of sermons on that. I don't know why. I don't think anybody knows for sure exactly why this went down like this. But verse 33, and the demons came out from the man and entered into the swine, and the herd the herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and were drowned. So the demons go into the pigs and immediately do something destructive. They immediately do something bad. They immediately find death. And that's pretty much how it goes with Satan. That's pretty much how it goes with worshiping Satan, with worshiping, with abiding in what the devil wants you to do. It's death. It leads to death, just like the pigs. And whenever the herdsmen saw what had happened, they ran away and reported it in the city and out in the country. And the people went, I need my glasses. And the people went out to see what had happened. And they came to Jesus, and they found a man who was whom the demons had gone out of, sitting down at the feet of Jesus, clothed and in his right mind, and they became frightened. The people all became frightened whenever Jesus did a work, whenever truth happened, whenever good happened, whenever this man now didn't have any demons, and he had clothes, and he had his right mind, and he was healed, he was saved. And it frightened those who didn't know Jesus. It frightens them. Look, the whole "you offend me" thing, the whole Christians are bad thing. I believe people who are in opposition to God, to me, to you, to Christianity, to what is right, people who are in opposition to that, I think down deep they're afraid. They're scared. I heard Matt Walsh or somebody talking. No, it was Tucker Carlson was talking about good and evil. What is the definition of good? What is the definition of evil? Good has order and structure. Good has kindness and calmness. Good has peace about it. Evil is everything in opposition to that. Anger and aggression and chaos and deceit and lies, manipulation. And if you're trying to determine what is good, look at the environment around it. What is good? What is peaceful? What is restful? what is not chaos, right? Well, these guys were frightened. Instead of being excited, wow, this guy's can save. This guy cast out demons. This guy, instead, it was frightening to them. Verse 36. And those who had seen it reported to them how the man who was demon possessed had made well. And all the people of the country of Gera and the surrounding districts asked him to depart from them, for they were gripped with great fear. And he got into a boat and he returned. They asked him to depart. Jesus shows up. He casts out demons. He heals a possessed guy. And I want you to go away. I don't want your good. I don't want what is good. I don't want your good. That seems so irrational to me that they wouldn't want what is good and right. So Jesus is going to get in the boat and return, verse 36. But the man from whom the demons had gone out was begging him that he might accompany him. But he sent him away, saying, return to your house and describe what great things God has done for you. And he went away proclaiming throughout the whole city what a great thing Jesus had done for him. The guy that Jesus healed, the guy that Jesus cast the demons out of, wanted more of Jesus, wanted to be with Jesus. Right? They wanted Jesus. Those who didn't understand Jesus, those who didn't let Jesus into their world, so to speak, opposed Jesus. And I think that's how we find ourselves. This is where we, and I think this is how we even should probably be people around us. There are people who stand, who are evil, who have evil motives, who think they're good and say that we are evil, right? But there are people who desire selfish, chaotic, angry means. Look, we're called to be peaceful, calm, gentle, loving. We're called to be considerate of other people, careful within those who oppose us. It's a pretty interesting concept that goes back and forth, right? As you read this story, what's your takeaway? What strikes you? And I'll answer questions in just a second. What strikes you as you read this story? This man who has cast out, certainly Jesus' power. The demons recognize who he is. But what hits you about this story? Think about for a minute, what does God want to teach you or share with you about the idea of Jesus casting these demons out and being rejected rather than embraced by people who saw the evidence? Yeah, they didn't want change for themselves, for sure. All right, let me pray for you guys. We'll wrap up. I know it's obnoxiously loud and difficult, but and I'll answer any questions anybody have. All Are you saved by Jesus? Is the question Bringer is asking. Good question, Bringer. Let's pray. Lord, thank you for loving us. Thank you that you are greater than he that is in the world, that we don't fear the world. We don't have to fear people. We don't have to fear Satan. Lord, you're in control. Thank you for loving us and bringing us up for Christ's name we pray. Amen. All right, Shadow Watcher. Good to see you this morning. Jesus doesn't stay where he's not wanted. That's a pretty good takeaway, Brenda, that Jesus doesn't stay where he's not wanted. Farrell on YouTube says some people are afraid of the good because bad is all they've known. Yeah, well, and I think people get to be in control of bad. The good has to come from God. Kate says a little evil in your life just multiplies like cancer. The only way to get rid of it's Jesus. Yeah. All right. TikTok, questions or comments? How can I get my husband to want to work on the marriage for 7 months? Can't. You be loving, you be kind, and set boundaries with him. There's nothing else you can do. You can't talk him into it. You have to have leverage with him. The leverage is that he must want to be with you. If he doesn't want to be with you, there's nothing you can do. So try to be as attractive as you can in the person you are and the godliness, and then you got to let God do what God's going to do. Cheryl says, I was the person living in chaos until Jesus came to me. Those around me couldn't understand and were afraid of how this would change our friendships. We can't expect unbelievers to understand, but must love whatever hope from the fear. That's so good, Cheryl. Other questions on TikTok? Thanks, James. Yeah, I got a whole restaurant full of people recognizing I'm over here with my Bible doing Bible study. Small town, small country town in Texas. That's not that surprising. And now, if I was in downtown New York, it may be a different story. I had to walk away from someone I love because they didn't want to grow in faith together. Well, actually, Stacy, just so you know, 1 Corinthians 7 says, do not seek a divorce for somebody. 1 Peter 3 says that what do you do with a non-believing husband who's unwilling to live according to God's word? It says you live righteously yourself, so he may be won over without words. Now, he may have been abusive or something else, which is a good reason to separate yourself. But we don't divorce somebody just because they're not a Christian or won't grow with you spiritually. Just FYI. Somebody wants a question answered. Is there anyone here can answer my question, please? I will answer your question, but it may be that your question isn't coming through because TikTok filters certain questions if you use certain language. So keep trying. If no one's answering your question, it may be that no one can see your question. So keep trying. What is your question? Who is the God of Jesus Christ? The God of Jesus Christ is the creator of the universe, is the one and only true God. Yahweh, God of the Jews, God of Jesus Christ. All right, I'm going to wrap up for today. I hope you have a great day. Instagram, thank you guys for joining. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. TikTok, hang in there. Love you guys. We'll be back to calm, quiet countryside tomorrow morning. Last time I did this in here, there was nobody in here. It was so quiet. It just didn't work out that way today. All right. Instagram, we'll see you guys. Love y'all. Bye. All right. Oh, by the way, I did get my well working. I got the well working, solar panels up and pumping water all day yesterday. It was so awesome. So it did get working. All right. TikTok, love y'all. See you tomorrow. Keep on keeping on. Bye bye. I apologize that the quality was not very good today, folks, but is what it is. Do the best we can. Keep on keeping on. Love you guys. Bye bye.